We got some wins, Buck. The mask mandate dying thanks to that great decision from the Florida judge. We've got CNN Plus shutting down. Elon Musk furthering his battle to win control of Twitter. Unfortunately, we still have Joe Biden as president. And I wanted to play this cut for you because Title 42 is scheduled to end on May the 23rd. We have been talking about this for several weeks on this program. That's going to lead to the southern border opening up, people being able to flood across at a level that has never been seen before in American history. This is a big topic of discussion. Joe Biden was asked about this at a press conference earlier today, and I want you to listen. He answers as if he has been asked about the mask mandate. This is not a man who is doing very well in terms of his physical health from just a dementia perspective. Listen to this and tell me whether this is the person who should be leading the free world. Play cut 4.
On Title 42, sir, are you considering delaying lifting Title 42?
No, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from well, first of all, there's going to be an appeal by the Justice Department, because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42.
He's confused.
So he got totally confused there. The White House, as they always end up doing, had to issue a point of clarification. They said, I want to clarify, this is Joe Biden theoretically speaking, I want to clarify that in comments at the conclusion of my remarks this morning, I was referring to the CDC's mask mandate, and there is no Department of Justice action on Title 42. So, Buck, Title 42 is not some unexpected question that Joe Biden was going to get at the press conference. This is something that has been among the most widely discussed storylines in all of political talk for the past several weeks. The fact that he got that confused with the mask mandate is just evidence of how out to lunch he really is in terms of being able to manage on a day-to-day basis.
I honestly, I'm mad at the people who keep propping this up. I'm mad at the people who keep saying the emperor has clothes on when we know. Because, Joe Biden, he should also have known better. He should have. But the guy, who he is this. The guy who runs for office, says what he has to say, gives the same speech, gives the same canned, kind of sleazy, cheesy politician lines all the time. He's always talking about the folks and no joke and the whole thing. But Clay, he's deteriorating, and it's obvious, and we all see it. And I get angry at the people that I don't want to sit here and have to point this out, but he's the president, right? So if Joe Biden were, the manager of a local Home Depot, I'd be saying, well, maybe he's not so good at the job, but let's be. We're not going to criticize
Home
him.
Depot wouldn't allow him to run a random Home Depot.
Absolutely,
he would not be
good at the job.
Depot.
But I'm just saying, you wouldn't want to point this out or make a thing of it. You want to be. This guy has the nuclear codes, everybody.
Yeah,
this actually, and they said this about Trump all the time. And they talked about the 25th Amendment and removing him from office. It was like, there were whole news cycles. Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
They would bring on, Dr. Von Leftwing, and he would go on TV and say, oh, I've seen Trump, and he clearly needs to be removed. He's clearly not of sound mind. The 25th Amendment needs to come into play. They would do this based on nothing. Based on Trump, making a joke they didn't like. Joe Biden actually forgets things in real time, stammers, stutters, and looks like he doesn't know where he is. And you just see him physically. He's too old for this. And they just Clay, they're going to run him again. And this is why they're going to run this guy again. They're so shameless.
They had to issue a statement. This is not, because some people say, well, that's what politicians do. They answer the question they wish they had been asked instead of the one that they were. No, that's not this. Biden was confused. He might have thought Title 42, clearly he did, referred to the mask mandate, which is a glaring red flag because everybody knows that has been paying any attention to major politics for weeks or months now. about the significance of Title 42. This wasn't some gotcha question that kind of came out of nowhere. This is alarming. And to your point, Buck, like legitimately don't believe that Joe Biden could run a McDonald's. I don't think that he could certainly run a Home Depot. He couldn't be in charge of your local Kroger. He certainly couldn't be in charge of a gas station. I really believe this. I don't think he could manage a gas station right now. And we're supposed to have him running the entire country? I mean, think about that. Would you, if you owned a gas station, would you hire Joe Biden to be the manager of your gas station? There's a 0% chance that Joe Biden gets anybody's gas station in this country.
The Democrats are effectively going to be asking people, after seeing, at that point, 4 years of what is now so obvious, to vote for an empty vessel that is a brand. Just vote Biden so the Democrat people that have their jobs and in the various federal agencies and the people that are at the CDC, you're just voting to keep all of them in place. You're not actually voting for a leader of the free world because he can't lead. That's what we're actually faced with right now.
And it's happening every day. It's getting worse. We're going to have more and more of these episodes in public. God knows how many there are in private that don't see the light of day. This guy's not there. He is not there. He isn't functioning at a high capacity level. We wouldn't let him run a gas station. And he's the running, theoretically, the president of the United States, running the free world. It's crazy. It's running the